Hello and welcome to our daily bulletin. And next are the top stories. Ho Chi Minh City urged to hold the key to national development. Vietnam credit growth rises 6.2%. 90% of Vietnamese to have health insurance by 2020. A grand ceremony was held on July 2nd to mark the 40th anniversary of the day Saigon Gia City was officially named after the late President Ho Chi Minh. Speaking at the event, State President Trần Đại Quang highlighted great achievements made by Ho Chi Minh City over the last 40 years, especially in economic growth expansion, investment attraction, and urban management and development. He praised efforts of the city party organization and authorities in fostering creativeness and taking measures to overcome difficulties and challenges to reap important successes across the board, importantly contributing to the national reform, construction, and defense. The state president said Ho Chi Minh City needs to come up with new, breakthrough models and solutions to deservingly be a key driver of the national economy. The city's economic scale has expanded strongly, reaching 975 trillion Vietnam dong, over $43.8 billion at present. Citizens earn an average per capita income of $5,538 per year by the end of 2015, up 73% compared to the level reported in 2010. In his speech, Secretary of the Municipal Party Committee Dinh La Thang pledged that the city authorities will proactively propose appropriate policies and mechanisms for its development targets, as well as generating a driving force for the development of the entire southern region and the whole country as well. He added that Ho Chi Minh City will strive to become a major center of economics, finance, commerce, and science technology in Southeast Asia by 2020. Prime Minister Nguyễn Xuân Phúc showed his backing of a scheme to build large-scale self-vegetable production models with the application of high technology during his working session with Hải Dương provincial authorities on July 2nd. The northern locality has nearly 30,000 hectares of vegetables cultivation a year. However, it has yet to establish extensive self-production models which are highly productive, competitive, and economically efficient. From the fact, the province asked for its joining of the country's high-tech agricultural development program from 2017 so that it would have 3 to 4 large-scale self-vegetable production areas by 2020. At the meeting, Prime Minister Nguyễn Xuân Phúc pointed out that the province has not yet achieved the agricultural restructuring as required. The province should promptly solve petitions lodged relating to land clearance, as well as environmental pollution and railway and waterway traffic problems, he said. Hải Dương recorded an economic growth of 7.2% in the first half of 2016. It collected over 5 trillion Vietnam dong, or $225 million for the state budget, representing a year-on-year increase of 3.6%. Credit in the first half of this year rose 6.2% in comparison with the end of last year, slightly lower than the 6.28% rate in the same period of 2015. More details coming up next.
The two largest economic hubs, Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City, reported high credit growth of 5.9% and 5.1% respectively. In this period, capital mobilization also increased 8.23% against the end of last year, much higher than the 4.58% in the first half of 2015. Deposit interest rate remains stable at 4.5 to 5.4% per year on average for short-term deposits, and 5.4 to 7.2% per year for terms of over 6 months. The central bank this year targeted credit growth of 18%, and industry insiders forecast the target to be feasible as lending often surges sharply in the second half of the year. The Vietnam Bank for Industry and Trade, or Vietinbank, said lending growth in the bank has been good, reaching 6% by the end of May. Lending to small and medium-sized enterprises showed the strongest growth. The Bank for Foreign Trade of Vietnam, or Vietcombank, also reported a credit growth of 7.5% by the end of May. Besides boosting growth, Vietcombank would also focus on supervising credit quality. Other banks, such as the Bank for Investment and Development of Vietnam, or BIDV, Liên Việt Post Bank, and VP Bank, are also optimistic about their lending this year.
Vietnam export earnings from agroforestry aquatic products reached $15 billion in the first 6 months of 2016, up 5.4% from the same period last year. We have more in the following report.
According to the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, agricultural products contributed $7.32 billion to the total amount, a year-on-year increase of 5.1%. In terms of rice, the country exported 2.69 million tons to earn $1.21 billion, down 9.8% in volume and 5.9% in value year-on-year. Coffee exports fetched $1.71 billion from 985,000 tons, while 107,000 tons of pepper brought home $864 million. Rubber exports reached 429,000 tons, up 3.5%, but earned 12% less than that of the same period last year, at $532 million, due to a price loss of 15%. Cashew nuts remain a strong commodity with an increase of 8% in price, earning the country $1.2 billion, up 11% year-on-year. The export value of aquatic products in the first half of this year amounted to $3.07 billion, a rise of 3.8% from the 2015 same period. The United States, Japan, China, and the Republic of Korea were leading importers of Vietnamese seafood with a proportion of nearly 53% of the total export value. The forestry sector earned $3.33 billion from exports during the period, a slight yearly downturn of 0.1%.
Vietnam has set a target of expanding health insurance coverage to at least 90% of the country's population by 2020. The target was stated in a government decision on health insurance goals in the next 5 years. Under the decision, provincial budgets and other financial resources should be mobilized to support local people to get access to health insurance services, especially near poor households, middle-income families, and students. The Ministry of Health is assigned to improve medical checkup quality and fine-tune payment process for health insurance card holders. The Ministry of Education and Training and the Ministry of Labor, Invalid and Social Affairs are ordered to build plans ensuring all pupils and students are covered by health insurance by 2017. Meanwhile, insurance coverage among the armed force members should be increased to 100% by 2018. As of May 31, 2016, health insurance coverage in the country reached 77% with nearly 80 million card holders, fulfilling 89.3% of the government's set plan. Having experienced hundreds of years of development, Vietnam's lacquer craft has become a unique fine art. Let's join us to find out more about the time-honored craft. As a traditional fine art dating back many centuries in Asia, sơn mài or lacquer has long been used to decorate household items such as screens and dishes, as well as jewelry boxes. Early this year, Vietnam joined hands with Japan, the Republic of Korea, and China to submit a dossier to UNESCO seeking for its recognition of traditional lacquer craft as World Intangible Cultural Heritage. Painter Lee Sơn has spent years working with the lacquer fine art. According to him, the palms of the hands are suitable for polishing lacquer paintings. This is a technique which creates unique characteristics of Vietnamese lacquer drawings.
In Japan, the Republic of Korea and China, painters polish their paintings when they finish their works. It is different in Vietnam, where artists draw many layers on their paintings and polish them for artistic effects.
The biggest difference between Vietnamese lacquer paintings and other countries is materials and polishing technique. Painters normally use sap extracted from certain trees in the midland province of Phu Tho, together with eggshell, gold and silver, to create lacquer materials. Nowadays, a number of artisans use imported paint in making lacquer paintings to save time for massive production. By doing in this way, the traditional craft can lose its unique characteristics.
We now tend to make paintings on a large scale, but not single products, which will lose their uniqueness. In the future, if the craft is recognized as intangible cultural heritage, we should pay more attention to this issue.
There are many steps to make a lacquer product, such as processing the surface, sticking decorative items, painting and polishing. At first, the product is painted with many layers of paint, creating a water-resistant layer. When the paint dries, painters will stick eggshell, mother of pearl, gold, silver on the surface, creating different shapes and colors for the painting. Painting and shining the product are the most unique steps. The painters draw many layers on the product. After each layer, they cover it with a layer of paint. After the layers of paint are sharpened and colors and decorative objects are attached, a picture is completed. To preserve its value, Vietnam's traditional lacquer craft is making efforts to seek recognition as World Intangible Cultural Heritage. Such an exhibition is an attempt to introduce Vietnamese lacquer to the public.
It's very, very good to see so many Vietnamese people and international visitors learning about this beautiful form of art. It's a very old form of art, but it's also a living tradition. It continues. Vietnam is doing so much to keep this beautiful form of art alive. It's developing in new ways with new products, but there's also a lot of continuing knowledge and skill.
From trees sharp, painters can create such wonderful paintings. This is a unique fine art, we should introduce widely to the international friends. Young painters are trying to improve their skills and develop their creativeness to make more unique products. Through the test of time, Vietnamese lacquer craft is being preserved and developed. And that has come to an end of our program. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you next time.